Okay, what do we have next in the chat?
We have a lot of people asking about transfers to what is seemingly speed sort of the topic of today's episode, which is Fraser. We got Maddison. I think a few people mentioned Maddison. Mitch Tavius said it should have been Alonso assist, so I've never felt more comfortable with someone.
I love how you call him Midgetavius.
Is that
Migtavius?
I told you I'm bad with names.
We're all bad with names. Don't worry about it.
We are terrible. It's all good. It's all good.
Let's
Brett's
see.
there going, I'm fucking names. It's just you lot.
I would like to point out we did all miss Brett's joke as well.
You did.
Yeah.
What
Keep
was
an eye
that?
on it. Keep an eye on Firmino.
Oh,
Complete tumbleweed. A few people in the chat
The
appreciated
chat
it, but no,
appreciate it.
no one on
went
stream
over all
did.
our heads.
I did. I was going to slip in eye-watering, but I thought, will it be distasteful?
When I said it, like no one responded. I was like, "Oh, that's awkward. That's awkward."
It's one of those that you'd have been like, you'd have thought, yes, this is a good one, and then oh.
Ooh, nothing.
So we've got one.
Okay,
I was going to say, but his name is too complicated, so I'll leave that for a second.
Do you pick
But
these
another
on
one
purpose?
someone called John Smith needs to start asking questions. That's all I'm going to say.
Why don't you just call them all Johns?
It's a good idea, actually. So we got a question here from John Smith, and he says, I think this one's all right. Yen Ju Wu, I believe, and he or she says, thoughts on Spurs players after losing in the last minutes against Inter Milan?
I thought Lucas looked pretty good. What I seen when he came on, he looked pretty good, and I'm quite happy to continue owning him for a few more weeks. But he will likely make way if Salah does something on the weekend. Lucas will be the person who makes way for me to somebody cheaper, probably like Richarlison, and then I will be fast tracking my way to Fraser. Of course, I'll probably be well late to the Fraser train, as I was with the Mendy train. But
just don't bring him in, please. Let us enjoy the points for a bit.
Oh,
He made us sad.
yeah, but Patricio, he did fine. And Doherty. Granted, he was on my bench, so, the pressure was off. But, Anyway, Spurs players. Kane looks tired. And who else would people own? Trippier, maybe, but I don't think he played tonight, did he? I'm not sure.
He didn't. I guess he didn't play tonight, which kind of gives more assurances to maybe bring him in now, or for people that own him, So he's one option for sure.
Jay, thoughts on Spurs?
I mean, to be honest, none of them really, none of their players, considering they've lost the last 3 games they've played, have really stood out to me as someone I want to bring into my side. However, on the flip side, the fixtures for the next 4 look incredibly good.
Absolutely.
Brighton, Hove Albion, Huddersfield, Cardiff, West Ham. It is Man City in game week 10, but that's 4 game weeks.
Yeah.
I would ideally like to bring in one of their cheaper players. Lucas Moura would fit the bill perfectly, but now, of course, Son is back. So I really don't know if I want to bring in Moura and then watch him not play and watch Son play. So I may just avoid until I see something from them that makes me think, okay, this is the Spurs side that we've all been expecting to see, and then make a move.
Did you get Lucas after on your wild card?
No, I went double up on Chelsea.
You switched.
Yeah, I went for Pedro, hoping that both would score against opposition, but no. Unfortunately, I mean, Moura wouldn't have done any better. He did hit the post, of course, in that Liverpool game.
Yeah.
And I will say, in Moura's favour, the kind of chances he gets and the kind of finishes he has displayed means potentially he could do well off of less chances. But just the team around him doesn't fill me with enough confidence where I'm like, you know what? They're playing good attacking football and I want one of their players, especially with the other cheaper options currently available to look at.
For me, just at the start of the stream, I mentioned I had 2 free transfers and I'm sort of considering a little bit of a secret weapon. And this is very early days, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do this yet. But with these 2 free transfers, I am seriously considering bringing Son in for game week 6. He's so low owned, like 1.5%. I've already got a lot of the big hitters covered. And with those 4 fixtures in mind, you know, Spurs have just lost 3 games on the bounce now, 2 in the Premier League. And I don't know what it's like for you guys. Maybe you're the same. But when we play FPL, like when you get fixated on a player, you start making a case in your head for why you should bring them in. And like, I'm like convinced now that oh my God, I need to bring Son in because no one else is going to do it. But I'm just kind of thinking Spurs have lost 2 games on the bounce in the Premier League. How long can this poor run really go on for? Son is back now. He had a great World Cup, played amazing South Korea, won the Asian Games. I feel like he's such a big player for Spurs, and he could galvanise them now. And granted, you know, he didn't perform amazingly in the Champions League tonight, but he still had an okay game. He almost won a penalty against Liverpool, came on, made a difference. With these 4 fixtures, Son is a tempter for me. I'm seriously considering bringing in Son. It would mean me sacrificing a Man City defender like Laporte, but I can actually afford Doherty and Son, and Walcott and Laporte would go out. That's the 2 moves I'm considering now. And that's not concrete, but yeah, Son is someone I'm definitely considering.
What I'd say to back that up is if you actually look at the players that get a really high rank, there are decisions they make which are made before the crowd or against the crowd. For instance, so many people dropped Aguero because of the news that he wasn't going to play, and then the people that captained him ended up captaining a 20-point player. Again, Aguero was the most popular captain choice game week just gone. Those that captained Hazard and went against the crowd. Of course, when you go against the crowd as well, those points almost kind of mean double, because if you captain Aguero and everyone's captain Aguero, it's almost irrelevant. You're just kind of keeping your rank against the people doing the same. So sometimes bringing that player in, and even say Ryan Fraser, playing him when a lot of people benched him because of the injury worries, those kind of decisions are what can really shoot you up the rank and get you into that top 10k, top 50k, whatever you're aiming for. So sometimes it is about, okay, I've got the bases covered, I've got Hazard covered, I've got Aguero, I've got 2 of the 3 armed defence. This is where I go and make a move somewhere that isn't one of those covered players. So I can see.
I love how you've just talked Brett into that completely. Son's not even going to start on the next game week.
Into kind of considering it, so I'm now like, should I bring in Son?
Sorry, John. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, with these 4 next fixtures, granted Brighton away is a tough one, but their form has got to turn, and if with Son coming back, you know, that could spark Kane hitting form and to galvanise Spurs. Ali's injured, so I'm hoping Son will start now. He only played 60 minutes tonight, which gives me some inkling that maybe him and Lucas could play together on the weekend. You know, it is a risk, but it's not often that Son is going to be 1% owned this season. So if I can get him in a game week, you know, if I bring him in now and he blanks against Huddersfield, I've only got Walcott now anyway. I'm not that fussed on Walcott. Then he's got Huddersfield next. So I'm happy to give, and then Cardiff at home. So if I do bring Son in, I'm happy to give him a few game weeks, and I'll have Salah, Hazard, and Son in my midfield. So I'm happy just to see how that goes for a few weeks, you know.